Hold on one moment. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start standing first. I want you to go ahead and align your feet up with your sit bones so the toes are all pointing straight ahead. And I just want to also first start by introducing myself if you've never taken class with me before. My name is Wendy and I work at Studio Blue. As we get moving, if anything feels uncomfortable, if you have any injuries that you're being careful with, just making sure that you're staying within ranges of motion that don't push you into pain. And I'll offer kind of different levels for certain exercises, but just definitely making sure you're taking care of yourself and you're finding modifications and alterations to exercise so you feel comfortable and safe. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just let the arms hang down by the sides. And again, those feet positioned right underneath the sit bones, toes pointing straight ahead. Let's first just go ahead and lift all 10 toes up off the floor. And then spreading the toes out nice and wide, you're gonna lay your pinky toe down, and then the next one, you're working your way in towards the big toe. And then from here, just feeling weight through the four corners of the feet, and then feeling that you have your weight distributed evenly between the forefoot and your heels. And so from here, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes while you stand, feel free to do so. You're just gonna go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. So as we inhale in through the nose, you're feeling for your lungs to expand 360 degrees and allowing the belly to expand as well. And as you exhale out through the mouth, you're just gently drawing your low belly back towards the base of the spine and slightly up the front of the spine. And again, inhale, taking the breath in, feeling that expansion through the lungs and through the belly. And then exhale, drawing the abdominals in. Let's go one more time, take an inhale. And exhale it out. This time, as you inhale, we're going to slide the shoulders up towards the ears as we bend the knees. As you exhale, feel the feet reach down to the floor and the crown of the head lengthen up as you straighten up and the shoulders slide down. And again, inhale, shoulders glide up, knees bend. Exhale, shoulders glide down, legs lengthen. And again, inhale, shrug. And exhale and lengthen. Two more like that, making sure that as you do this movement, that you're maintaining a long back of the neck. You're not jutting the chin further forward as the shoulders drop up. So one last one. And gliding down. From here, you're gonna go ahead and take your fingertips onto your shoulders. If this position isn't comfortable for any of your joints, you can always just do the same movements with your spine with your arms down next to your sides. But otherwise, we'll keep them on the shoulders. And so first from here, we're gonna go ahead and draw the elbows towards one another and notice how your shoulder blades have widened across the back. And then as we draw those elbows back, think of gathering your shoulder blades towards one another like they're slightly pinching. And then again, coming forward. And we'll inhale to take it back. And exhale, bring those elbows forward. And inhale to take it back. Now we're gonna add to this. And so as the elbows come forward, we're also gonna go ahead and round the spine and take a little knee bend. And then as you inhale, we lengthen through the legs and the elbows drop back and we let the chest lift. And exhale and round. And inhale and lengthen. And exhale and round. Inhale and lengthen. One more time, exhale, round, and inhale, lifting the chest. From here, we're gonna go ahead and step the feet out a little wider than the shoulders and hips. And then we're gonna start to rotate towards the right. And so we rotate that direction and shift our weight onto that right foot. And so you'll notice that the front of my left hip is nice and open. And then lift up through the chest and rotate a little further to the right to look to the back wall. And then we take it through center and shift to the other side and rotate. Inhale and exhale. Just taking it easy from side to side. You might notice a nice stretch to the front of the hips and also continuing to open through the front of the chest. Couple more from side to side there. Just gently getting all of our joints starting to move. And and then bringing it back to center. Step your feet back into hip distance, fingertips still on the shoulders. Now we're going to go ahead and inhale, take it over into a little side bend. And so as you're going over into that side bend, careful not to pull down with the arms. Let your spine do the moving. Inhale to bring it up, and then exhale up and over. Good. And again, over. Feeling the length to the sides of the body. Allowing the head to move with the spine. And this next one, when we take it over, we're going to go ahead and pause there. And then you're going to go ahead and rotate down to look at the floor. So we kind of carve down. And we're going to rotate as if our breastbone is going to look to the ceiling. And then we rotate the breastbone down towards the floor. And then we rotate it up towards the ceiling. One more time there. Just feel like a nice little internal massage there. And then back to face me and bringing yourself back upright. Other direction, we'll go ahead and side bend over. And then you'll rotate your breastbone down towards the floor in the exhale. And then inhale, rotating towards the ceiling. And exhale and rotate, keeping a slight bend in the knees. And exhale. And inhale. One more time here. And back to face me, and then bring yourself upright. Let your arms lengthen down next to your sides. We're going to go ahead and take a couple standing roll downs here. And so from here, if you need a little knee bend, go ahead and give yourself that. You're just going to gently nod the chin first. Let the head come over, forward of the body, and then the shoulders, peeling down bone by bone. And as you're rolling down, feel for that moment where your pelvis tips over the thigh bones and the sit bones widen. Just taking a nice inhale there, allowing the back of the neck to be long and the head to be heavy. And then exhale, a little lift through the low belly, feeling your sit bones reach down as you begin to stack back out through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Inhale there. And then exhale again, a little nod of the chin, head comes forward, shoulders come forward, ribcage starts to round over. Feeling again for that moment where the pelvis tips over the thigh bones and the sit bones widen. Inhaling there. And exhale, tail draws under. Imagine there's a wall right behind you that you're stacking your spine up bone by bone. Inhale here and exhale, nod the chin. This time we'll roll it on down. But once we're down, we're going to go ahead and bend the knees down and come onto all fours. Fingertips spread nice and wide here. Feeling the tail lengthen back towards the wall back behind you and the crown of the head lengthen forward. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and maintain a neutral position. We're just going to take a nice hinge of the hips, almost like we're reaching our sit bones straight back towards the wall behind you, but being careful that you don't go so far back that you tip your tail under. And then feel your knees push down and back to send you back forward out over your fingertips. So it's just a little rocking motion. And again, what we're aiming for is to get that nice articulation in the hip joint. Noticing how the sit bones widen as you sit back. And you can actually find your glutes to send you forward by pushing the knees down and back. Let's go ahead and just do one more like that. And then we're going to go ahead and just find ourselves centered between the hands and the knees. From here, take an inhale. And exhale, we're going to round up into a Halloween hat. Now from here, we're going to begin to sit back towards the feet. But as you're going back, feel for that moment where the weight starts to leave the fingers. And you're going to pause there. Now from here, you're going to take a look forward out past your fingertips, spiral your elbows under with a little bend, and feel that chest kind of reach forward as you come forward. And so we round first, take a seat back, feel for that moment where there's weight out of the fingertips, and then we spiral the elbows under, bring the chest forward, and come forward. Let's do two more like that. It should feel like a nice wave-like motion. Finding some fluidity through the movement. We exhale as the spine rounds. And inhale as it extends. One last one, just because they feel so nice. And exhale. And come forward. Good. So then from here, we're going to go ahead and just pick up both feet and send them both over to the right, and then go ahead and sit back a little. And then come forward, take both feet over to the left, and then sitting back. Doing that nice side stretch from side to side there. Good. And then finding center here, we'll take it into a little shoulder stretch. So we're going to go ahead and take weight down through our left hand. With our right arm, we're going to go ahead and weave that right arm under, allowing your standing elbow to bend as we take the shoulder towards the floor. And then we're going to lengthen it back up. And then we're going to go ahead and slide our right arm forward, allowing the front of that right armpit to open and stretch towards the mat. And then coming back up. And now we're going to take that right arm up towards the ceiling to rotate. Up. And then up. And then we're going to do the other side. So we weave the left elbow under, or arm under, and back up. And then slide the left arm forward, opening the armpit up towards the floor. And up. And then taking that left arm up towards the ceiling to rotate away from the right arm. And back. One more time on the other side. And we'll weave it under, allowing the left elbow to bend as the right arm comes under. And back. Opening up the armpit as we reach the arm out. And then taking that right arm up. Other side. Left arm weaves under. Then we inhale it up. And then we slide the arm forward, stretching the armpit towards the floor. And then back up. And then taking the arm up to the ceiling. And bringing it back. One more exercise while we're on all fours. And so from here, standing strong down through your knees and standing strong through your arms. You're going to go ahead and you're going to stand even stronger now through your right arm and your left knee as we draw our left arm and right leg back, trying to keep the pelvis nice and level, and then bringing it back in. So we're just going to alternate nice and slow, and our focus should be more on our standing arm and leg, having them push the floor away to give us lift through the opposite limbs. Still feeling that sense of length out through the crown of the head. And so we're keeping the neck and head in line with the rest of the spine. One more here. And bring it down. All right, from here we're going to go ahead and take a seated position. Make sure you're giving yourself some room to eventually roll back. First, you're going to go ahead and take your hands back behind your thighs. And you're going to use the arms to lift yourself up nice and tall. Now take an inhale here, and exhale, start to shovel your sit bones under towards your heels as you round back to an easy C curve here. And we still want to make sure that our head is neutral, so you should easily be able to turn your head from side to side here. And then also notice if your big toe mounds are still in contact with the floor, and try and place them back down. And you're going to hold this C curve as we take the arms away from the thighs. You're going to take an inhale here, and exhale, we're going to scoop back just an inch, and then use those little abdominals to bring you back to that starting C curve. And we take it back an inch, and then you scoop to come up. And again, we're trying to keep those feet in contact with the floor, all four corners. Using the low belly to scoop deeper to bring you up. One more like that. Good. And then we're going to take this easy scoop. Now, we're going to keep our hips on our pelvis nice and stable as we rotate over towards the right arm. And then inhaling back to center. And you're basically rotating at your waistline, just below the rib cage. Exhale as you rotate, and inhaling back to center. And exhale, trying to keep equal weight through your left and right hips, regardless of which side you're going to. One more over to the left. Now from here, just to make it a little more challenging, we're going to start to take the arms up. Feel your bottom tips of the shoulder blades wrapped down and out towards the sides of the body so the shoulders don't pull up to the ears. Now imagine you're pushing something overhead here so it scoops you a little deeper. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale to come up. And exhale, we're going to go ahead and scoop back. And then you can reach forward to the fingertips and down with the blades. And up. One more time, scoop and reach and lift. This time we're going to go ahead and scoop, hold, now reach and lift. Now keep that reach to the fingertips and imagine you're reaching your spine towards the floor in opposition of your fingertips. So we start to roll down, bone by bone with control, all the way down into our backs. Once you're on your back, you're going to go ahead and draw your heels closer towards your sit bones. Collarbone is wide. And take an inhale here. And exhale, go ahead and just tip the pelvis towards the shoulders and begin rolling the hips up one vertebra at a time. You want to feel those knees reach out over your toes. So at the top of your bridge, you want to aim for having an even line from your sternum to your knees. Take an inhale here. Exhale, start to soften through the breastbone, rolling back down and through. See if you can keep your collarbone open and your arms against the floor as you roll down. Inhale, neutral, and exhale, roll it back up. Inhaling there at the top, and exhale, soften through the breastbone, rolling and peeling down and through. We'll add on to the next one, so you're going to exhale first, roll on up. Making sure there's a curl of your tail and a softness through the front of the ribs. Rotate your palms to face one another. Now we're going to take the arms overhead, allow those arms to go a little wider than your shoulders, so it's kind of like they're in a V shape. Now from here, you're going to soften through the breastbone and start to roll the spine down one vertebra at a time, feeling that length for the sidelines of the body. Once your tail arrives, we inhale the arms back down next to the sides. Exhale, rolling the spine back up. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale, sink through the breastbone. Imagine fractioning your tail away from your fingertips as you roll down. Inhaling the arms back down next to the sides. We've got one more like that. Exhale to roll up. And taking the arms overhead. And sink through the breastbone. Rolling it back down. Arms come down next to the sides. This time we're going to exhale, roll the pelvis on up. And so from here, making sure you still got a little scoop of the low belly, softness through the ribs. We're going to go ahead and try and keep our hips nice and still as we start to let our right knee open out to the side. And now I want you to think of using the outside of that right foot to push slightly into the floor so that connects you to the hip more to bring it back to center. And then inhale, left knee tips out to the side. Exhale, outer edge of that foot pushes into the floor to return. So you're noticing how that contact through the foot helps you find your connection to your hip muscles. Inhale to take it out. And exhale to bring it back. Inhale, right leg out. Exhale it back. One more time here. Exhale it back. Let's go ahead and soften through the breastbone, roll the spine back down. We do have a little bit more left in our ridge series. Take an inhale and exhale, roll it back up. So this time, you're going to go ahead and take those arms up towards the ceiling and place the palms flush against one another. Now reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling a little more, and so your shoulder blades actually lift away from the floor. And now sink your breastbone back into the mat a little more. So from here, we're going to go ahead and see if we can keep our rib cage and our shoulders in this position. And imagine your pelvis like a basin full of water. And we're going to go ahead and pour a little bit of water out over our right hip bone as the pelvis rotates a little. And you're pushing through that right foot and you're using your glutes to bring it back. And then we're going to pour a little water out over that left hip bone. And then exhale to bring it back. Inhale, a little tip to the right. And exhale and center. Inhale, a little tip to the left. Exhale, center, keep reaching skyward through the fingertips. One more here. And back, good. Arms come down next to the side, holding your bridge, keeping your hips nice and stiff. You need to take the hands under the hips to kind of feel where they're at, you can. We're gonna go ahead and exhale, take our weight now through that right foot as we take our left leg up and we set it down. And we march and down. Those glutes should be feeling something by now, I hope. And making sure you're continuing to breathe, continuing to keep your collarbone open. One more each side. And then let's go ahead and exhale, soften through the breastbone. Roll, 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 all the way down to the floor. All right, from here, we are gonna go ahead and interlace our hands back behind our skulls. You're gonna bring those elbows forward so you can see them in your peripheral view. And then I want you to reach through those elbows a little bit more so your shoulder blades get wide across the back. Then you're gonna nod the chin slightly to the Adam's apple. Inhale. As you exhale, tip that breastbone down. So as we roll the head and shoulder blades up, the head gets to remain pretty heavy in the hands. We're gonna inhale to set it down with control. And as soon as the head arrives at the floor, we exhale to take it back up. Inhale to take it down. And exhale, tipping the breastbone down to bring the head and shoulders up. Seeing if you can keep your sacrum level here. One more. And down. Now we're going to keep our right hand behind our head, and we're going to lengthen the left arm down next to our sides. So you're going to go ahead and exhale. We roll up to the center, just like we have been. And now you're going to rotate towards the left as you reach just a little bit longer through that left arm. And then we bring it back to center and down. And exhale to come up, a little rotation. And down. As you're rotating to the left, think of squeezing in with that left inner thigh a little stronger. So you get that oblique connection to that opposing inner thigh. As if the right shoulder blade and the left inner thigh are drawing towards one another. One more. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So we take the left hand behind the head, right arm down next to the side. We're going to go ahead and exhale, roll up through the center, just to the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And then reaching a little longer through the right arm and feeling that right inner thigh squeeze in. And then inhaling back to center. And exhale and rotate. And inhaling back to center. Up a little more here. Last one. And down. All right, for now, we're going to go, or from here, we're going to go ahead and draw the legs up to a tabletop position. So you're going to squeeze those inner heels and inner thighs together. Low belly pulling up and in. And we're going to go ahead and draw the arms up to the ceiling. We're going to take an inhale, exhale, a little nod of the chin to the Adam's apple. And then you're pushing your palms down through thick air as you roll the head and shoulder blades up. From here, we're going to take hold of the backs of the thighs. You're going to use the inner ring of the arms, the biceps here, to bring yourself up a little higher. Feel for your low back ribs reaching back into the floor. And now try and maintain this height as we go ahead and take our hands back behind our heads, and then control it back down. We reach the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, nod the chin, roll it up. Take the hands behind the thighs. Use those arms to assist a deeper curl. Make sure you're in a position here where you can turn your head easy from side to side. See if you can maintain this height now as we take the arms, hands back behind the head, and we control it back down. Sweep the hands out from behind the head, back up to the ceiling. Exhale, nod the chin, rolling back up. Again, using the arms to come up a little bit higher. So now from here, we're going to go ahead and keep this position, but start to push the backs of your legs into your hands and see if you can start a little rocking motion. So you're going to gradually rock yourself up to a seated position. From here, you're going to go ahead and lengthen the legs out nice and long. Again, make sure you have plenty of room back behind you. We're going to take the arms out in front for ups and roll downs. So first, just lifting up nice and tall through the spine and feeling that your arms are essentially living on your back. We're going to try and keep our heads level for as long as you can, as if you're balancing a book or a yoga block on them. So you're going to start to shovel your sit bones under. And so as you roll down, I only want you to go down as far as you can while still maintaining that imaginary book on the head. So if you notice that you get to a point where you have to really send the head forward or look down, you've gone too far for your own body. We're trying to instead find more movement through our trunk. And that's about right here for me, and then I'm going to see if I can still maintain the book on the head as I come up. And again, exhale and curl, rolling down. Keep that imaginary book on the crown of the head. Feel the backs of the legs push into the floor, deep into the low belly, and bring it back up. If you find that you're able to get all the way down to the floor, feel free to take the arms overhead like so. I'll demonstrate. Going over, inhaling the arms to the ceiling, exhale, nod and peel up. But otherwise, I'm kind of liking keeping it a little bit smaller and within a range that I know I'm doing it correctly, and it actually feels more challenging to me. Scooping to come up. Good. Let's go ahead and just do 2 more like that. Last one. And up. This time we're going to go ahead and exhale. Just roll all the way down to the mat. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and first take both legs up to a tabletop position. So you're going to slide your arms on out to a T. Palms can stay rotated up towards the ceiling. So the first version I'm going to show you is with tabletop legs. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your right thigh vertical. As you start to take the the left thigh vertical, if I said that wrong. We're going to start to take the right leg out to the side, and you're going to actually let your pelvis rotate so you can take that leg almost to the floor, but still keeping this left thigh nice and vertical. You're going to use your waistline to draw that right leg back. And then we're going to go ahead and take that left leg out, trying to keep our right thigh vertical now. And then exhale, finding your waistline to pull that right hip back onto the floor and to assist the left leg out. So if you want to do a slightly challenging, more challenging variation, you can lengthen your legs up to the ceiling. And then start to take that right leg out while you keep your left leg vertical. And let yourself tip. And then using your waistline to pull it back up to center. Hopefully you guys are feeling your obliques working here. So one more on each side, and just kind of taking a little inventory of what is working to bring that hip back, because when we go into our leg circles next, we'll be using the same muscles to maintain stability. So let's keep our right leg up to the ceiling and take our left leg down to the floor. So from here, we're going to go ahead and externally rotate that right leg up a little. And we're going to try and use our waistline to maintain stability throughout our trunks. So you're going to take that leg across the midline on the inhale and exhale to circle around and up. Inhaling out, exhale around and up. Inhale and exhale. One more time in this direction. And we'll reverse, inhale out, exhale around and up. Inhale, exhale around and up. One more here. And then with control, we set the leg down. Drawing that left leg up. And again, feel for the backs of the hips anchored into the floor. The trunk is going to stay stable. We'll externally rotate that left thigh. Inhale the leg across the midline. Exhale, take it around and up. If you do feel discomfort in your hip joint, or you're feeling this in your low back because the hamstrings are tight, always feel free to just let the knee bend a little bit. One more time in this direction. And reverse, inhale out. Exhale around and up. Last one. And from here, let's go and just take that left leg to tabletop, drag the right leg in, hands behind the thighs. Exhale, nod the chin, roll the head and shoulder blades up. See if we can maintain this shape as we push the backs of the thighs into the hands and easily pivot ourselves up to a seated position. So now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of seated work. If you have tight hips or tight hamstrings and you need to sit on a pillow, now would be the time just to take those hips up a little higher than the rest of the legs. So we're going to go ahead and separate our legs and so they are about shoulder distance, flexing at the ankles to pull the toes back, and drawing the arms out in front. So again, feel for that sensation of really just light, easy shoulder blades on the back. And so you'll nod the chin here, and it's almost like you're taking your rib cage up and around an imaginary beach ball without pulling the shoulders up to the ears. And now as you exhale, feel the backs of the thighs and the sit bones reach down through the floor to just bring you back up. And again, we'll inhale, take it up and over. And we'll exhale to lift up. Inhaling into the back of the rib cage to take it over. And exhale to lift up. Let's go ahead and do 2 more there. One lift. One more. And left. From here, we're going to go ahead, we'll take it up and over. But then you're going to continue to reach out through the fingertips, drawing the arms up in line with the spine. We're trying to get a nice long line from our fingertips up through our tail, feeling the back of the body nice and active here. And then drawing yourself up upright. Arms come forward, we take it up and over. Reach out to those fingertips, finding that opposition from fingertips to tail, and then drawing yourself back up. One more in this direction, taking it up and over, and extending out, and up. And then we reverse. So we hinge at the hips, we try and keep the back side of the body long, and then allowing for your head and tail to soften over. And then we sequence up through the spine. And arms come up, hinge, soften, and roll. One more time, arms up, and hinge, head and tail soften. Start from the base of the spine to roll yourselves up. From here, we're going to go ahead and place the hands back behind the body, fingertips pointing in towards the hips ideally. If it ends up being more comfortable on your wrist, to turn the fingertips out, you can. You're going to go ahead and bend the knees in so the feet are flat. And then what I want you to do first is think of trying to pull those shoulder blades towards one another and back, so you notice your chest opening and the collarbone staying nice and broad. So as we keep our shoulder blades pinching here, we're going to go ahead and float the hips up and reach forward through the knees to bring the hips up. And then from here, we're going to hinge at the hips to set it down, and then reaching forward through the knees to come up. So just getting a little bit of activity through the back side of the body by keeping those shoulder blades nice and close. Two more like that. One more and lift. And taking the hips down. So now from here, we're going to take it into soft, and we're going to try and feel that connection to the back side of the body in our soft. So from here, we'll take those legs a little wider than your mat, and again, pull those toes back. We're going to take the arms out to the sides. You're going to try and keep those sit bones rooted into the floor. We're going to inhale, rotate towards the right. Exhale, reach your left pinky finger towards your right pinky toe, rotating that back palm under. Now to bring yourself up, feel for the back of your body to lift you on up. And then we unwind to center. And rotating to the left, right pinky finger to left pinky toe, back palm flips under, pushes towards the ceiling. And then feel for the back of the body active to bring you up. And unwind. And rotate. And reach. Reach it back to left. And center. And rotate. And reach. And lift. One more each way. Last one here. And center. And arms come down. From here, we're going to take it into a little rolling like ball. So scooting forward towards the front of your mat. So you have plenty of room back behind you. Let's first take the hands back behind the thighs. So from here, you're just going to go ahead and tip a little bit back behind your sit bones and notice how your low belly is scooped a little bit. You're going to go ahead and float your toes up off the floor. And again, we want to maintain that long back of the neck so it's like you're gazing right between the knees here. We're going to go ahead and inhale to take it back just to between the shoulder blades. And then exhale, try to maintain that scoop as we come back up. Go the floor, massaging the back out as you roll. So now from here, if the back is feeling pretty good and you want to make this a little more challenging abdominal-wise, we draw it in a little closer. We take the hands closer towards the ankles. We pull those heels closer towards the sit bones. We still keep the gaze right between the knees. And again, we just take it back to between the shoulder blades and scoop hold. Now, for those of you who want yet another version to make it more challenging, you can try taking the elbows to the knees, the fingertips to the shoulders, and trying to remain or keep that contact as you roll back and as you roll back. We'll go one more. And then setting the feet down, let the soles of the feet come together. Lift up nice and tall through the spine. Go ahead and let those knees butterfly open and use the arms kind of bending and pulling yourself forward into a nice inner thigh and hip flexor stretch. Take a couple breaths here. If you want to round over the feet, you can. And then we'll go ahead and stack it back up. All right, so from here, we are going to go ahead and come forward onto, not quite all fours, but close. We're going to come onto our elbows. So we're going to try and align our forearms parallel to one another, middle finger point straight ahead. And as you're here, try and push down through your elbows, but also slightly forward. So you really feel this engagement wrapping around the ribs forward. So toes curled under. You're going to go ahead and as you push down toward the elbows, just barely float your knees up off the floor. Take an inhale and then exhale by pushing down and forward further. We start to take the hips up and then we lower back down. So it's easy to bend and straighten the legs, but see if you can find the effort coming more from the elbows pushing down and forward to send the spine up. To invert the spine, I should say. Let's go ahead and do just one more like that. And lower. Good. So now from here, we are going to come on to all fours. We're going to be doing a push-up modification. If this doesn't feel right on your wrist, feel free to go into a forearm plank and hold. So from here, we did this last week, it's my favorite variation of push-ups. You're gonna bring your inner thighs and heels together, and you're gonna go ahead and lift those feet. So what you're imagining is that you're a lion taking a sip of water out of a river. And so our elbows are gonna spiral in towards the ribs, and we're gonna come out over our fingertips to dip down, and then press back up. And as you're doing this, we're trying to maintain a neutral position to the best of our ability, and also trying to maintain a sense of width through the shoulder blades, which is super challenging to me. I think we should do 4 more. Working up to our 10 for that push-up challenge that's going around. Last one here. And just take it back to a child's pose. Take a nice deep breath. Think of breathing into the sides of the ribs. Almost imagining you have gills that you breathe through there. And then we're going to go ahead and come down onto our bellies. And so from here, you're going to have those legs about hip distance. And then you're going to go ahead and take the arms against the sides of the body. And so first off, the nose can stay floating slightly away from the floor, but you're going to go ahead and allow your shoulders to just kind of drape forward. And so from here, with your palms shining up towards the ceiling, you're going to press gently the backs of the hands into the floor. And first we're going to go ahead and bring those shoulder blades towards one another, and then push down through the hand a little bit and float the hands up. And then bringing the chest forward. And then we lower it back down. And so first our shoulders move away from the floor. We pinch slightly together. We float the hands up. And then the breastbone pushes forward. Up. And exhale to bring it down. And again, we go shoulders. Float arms. Extend through the upper back. Keep the front of your hips pressing into the mat. And float. One more time. Shoulders, arms, chest. And bringing it back down. From here, you're going to go ahead and take your right arm forward and place your left cheek on that hand. From here, we're going to go ahead and lift up through the spine. A little rotation there. And then lower. And now we're going to lift our left leg up as both hips stay against the floor. And down. And then we lift. And lower. And left leg comes up. And down. Now we're going to go ahead and move the leg and the upper body at the same time. And so we get that nice diagonal from the left glute across to the right upper back and shoulder. 2 more like that. And last one. And let's go ahead and switch now. So the right arm will lengthen down next to the side. You'll take the left arm here and you'll turn your right cheek to that hand. So first we'll go ahead and just lift the upper body up and lower. And then we'll lift that right leg and down. And lift, and lower. Both fronts of the hips stay against the floor as right leg lifts. And right leg. Now we're going to go ahead and go for both leg and upper body lifting. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our elbows underneath us a little bit, but kind of far out in front. And then feel the front of your hips open up into the floor, and then just pull your belly away from the mat a little bit. And now push the elbows down and forward, but bring the chest. So we're not quite in our single leg stretch, which would be here. You're a little bit lower down. And then turning those kneecaps down towards the floor, you're gonna go ahead and first just bend that right knee. And then see if you can float that right knee off the ground a little bit, and then lengthen the leg out. And then we'll bend the left one, and a little float, and lengthen. And if you're feeling this in your low back, then I'm gonna recommend actually coming down with the upper body, so you can float, lengthen, and lower. And bend, try and float that left thigh, lengthen, and lower. And bend, float, lengthen, and lower. One more time, bend, and float, lengthen, and lower. And from here, we're gonna go ahead and draw our forearms back under. You're gonna curl your toes under. We're gonna take it into our 8-point plank. And so as we push our elbows down and forward, it's kind of like we're snaking through our spine. So that more prominent vertebra right at the base of the neck, as if that starts to reach up towards the ceiling, and then we draw ourselves through, and we bring our spine level to neutral. And so from here, you still got your knees on the floor, the toes are still on the floor, and then you're pulling your elbows and knees towards one another, and then the elbows towards each other, and the inner thighs towards each other. Keep those abdominals lifting, keep those shoulder blades wide. One more breath, and then you're gonna let your hips come forward to the floor, open up through the chest, keep a little lift of the abdominals. And then again, we lead with that prominent bone right at the base of the neck, we swoop and roll, find neutral. Push down and forward to those elbows, hold for 2 breaths. And then opening up through the front of the hips. Keeping the lift of the abdominals as the chest comes through. One more. Inhale, hold. You guys are doing awesome. Wide shoulder blades. And from here, let your chest come down, slide those palms back, and let's go ahead and just take it into a child's pose here. One more deep breath, and we're going to take it into a side lying position. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and start with both legs lengthened nice and long. Bottom arm lengthen. If this is not comfortable on this bottom shoulder, this is where you might want to use a pillow or something underneath the head. So you're going to go ahead and let those legs come just slightly forward of the body, but do make sure that your head is back in line with the spine. And so from here, as we take our hand right between our pelvis and our rib cage, I want you to think of kind of pulling the hip and the rib cage towards one another so you feel a little engagement of those obliques. That's what we want to use here. So take an inhale next, and we use those obliques to float the legs up and bring it back down. And exhale and lift. And inhale to lower. And again, exhale and lift. Inhale to lower. And exhale and lift. Let's keep the lift here of the top leg and just let the bottom leg lower down. And take that bottom leg up against the top leg. Inhale it down, exhale and lift. Trying to feel that lift come from high up in the inner thigh and also all the way down to the inside of that knee. You got one more there where you squeeze and then we bring them down together. We're going to bend that bottom leg in. So you're 90 at the hip, 90 at the knee, leg is extended back in line with the spine. You're going to float that foot up just a little bit and establish a neutral position where the distance between the ribs and the hips is maintained as the leg goes up. And so we're essentially trying to isolate the movement right at our hip joint, using those the gluteus medius and the maximus. Couple more like this. the height of the pelvis and we'll take our kicks. And so we want to make sure that our tail doesn't pull under as we hinge at the hip to take the leg forward with the flexed foot. And then we point, reach it back, feeling our connection through our abdominals still. And then exhale to take it forward and inhale to reach it back. Next time the leg is back, pause, keep it reaching back, take your top hand behind your head, and then rotate your upper body towards the floor. Now as the top leg swings forward, we're going to rotate our upper body towards the ceiling. As the leg draws back, we rotate towards the floor, and we rotate, keeping a sense of a long waistline as we go. One more here. Bring that leg back in line with the spine. Keep it long. Place your hand down. Draw yourself up to a seated position, planting both sit bones down against the floor. Again, if you have very tight hips, sitting on a pillow might come in handy here. From here, we're going to take the arms up to the sides. You're going to rotate your body a little bit, so basically your collarbone runs level with the inside of your left thigh. And then we're going to side bend over. Take a couple deep breaths, opening up the right side of the body. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, lift up through your center. Now we're going to take this long, lengthened left leg and carry it around to the other side of your right thigh. You're going to let both sit bones drop down. We're going to take our right elbow around that left knee, pull it in a little bit, and then try and grow taller through your spine. Nice hip stretch into that hip there, that left hip. And now allow your spine to rotate a little bit more towards the left, tiptoeing those left fingertips back and looking over the shoulder. Take one more inhale there, and exhale, let the spine unwind. Now from here, you're going to see if you can slide this top leg a little further over, as if you were trying to stack your knees right on top of one another. Flex both feet to protect the knees. Again, lift up nice and tall. This may already be enough of a stretch for you. If you want to deepen it, you start to lean forward out over the thighs. To take it even deeper, you can really let the upper body rest into that top leg. Take two more deep breaths. On your next exhale, lift up to the low belly and stack it up tall. We're going to do the same series on the other side. So first you're going to go ahead and lengthen out the whole body, resting the left ear on the bottom arm, and then taking those legs just slightly forward of the spine. So again, feel for the oblique connection between the ribs and the pelvis here. As if when you start to make that effort of trying to pull those points together, that should engage. And then we're going to use that connection to take the legs up and then lower it down. And exhale and lift. And inhale to lower. Couple more like this. And this time we're going to go ahead and lift. We're going to keep that top leg where it's at. We lower the bottom leg and we lift up from those inner thigh muscles. We'll run from the pubic bone all the way down just to the inside of the knee. Let's do one last one there. And then we control both legs down together. We're going to bend that bottom leg in, 90 at the hip, 90 at the knee. That top leg is back in line with the spine. Floating the foot up just slightly away from the floor. And now maintaining length to the waistline as the leg goes up a little higher than the pelvis, about 20 degrees is ideal. Inhale to take it down. And again, you're feeling for that isolated movement at the hip joint. The obliques might turn on a little bit there just to help maintain stability. through the trunk. Let's go ahead and do one last one. And on the way down, pause on the leg. It is the height of the pelvis. Now we're going to flex that foot, and you're going to find a nice clean hip hinge as we take the leg forward, and you're going to point to reach the leg back. And inhale, and exhale. The next time the leg reaches back, you're going to go ahead and pause. We're going to take that top hand behind the head, and you're going to rotate your upper body towards the floor. Now with the legs face forward, we'll rotate the upper body towards the ceiling. And taking it forward. And inhale as we open. And exhale and reach. And inhale to open the chest. One more like that. And then taking the leg back in line with the spine. Keep the leg long. Let's draw ourselves on up to a seated position, letting both sit bones drop onto the floor. So from here, you're going to go ahead and reach the arms out to the sides. You'll rotate a little bit to the left, trying to align your collarbone up with the inside of that right leg, and then taking it up and over. Breathing nice and wide here. One more inhale. And exhale, bring it up. Now we're going to take this right leg and carry it across to the other side of your left thigh. We're going to go ahead and draw that right knee in with our left elbow and try and drop both sit bones into the floor as you grow tall through the spine. From here, you're going to take your right fingertip slightly back behind you, and walk them away, and start to rotate to the upper back. Look over that right shoulder. Let the breath draw down towards the bottom portion of the lungs. And then from here, we're going to unwind and continue to take that right leg a little further over so the knees are stacked, feet flexed, and we lean forward a little. If it is comfortable on your body, to really let the weight of your upper body release into that top leg you can. Breathing into the stretch. Taking one more inhale there. And exhale to step up. From here, we're going to go ahead and come back around to all fours for just a brief second. We curl our toes under and bring ourselves back into a crouched position. From here, just let yourself breathe into these back ribs just for a breath or two. One more inhale there, and then exhale, sending the hips up, feeling as if the crown of the head dives down. Allowing the knees to bend to keep the spine comfortable. Gently nod your head yes. Shake it no. Take a nice inhale, exhale, lift through the low belly and start to roll it up, bone by bone. Take a moment to clasp the hands back behind the pelvis. Reach just slightly down to see if you can take it back. Feeling again those shoulder blades draw towards one another and taking your gaze up for just a moment. A nice inhale into those upper ribs. And then exhale, see if you can release the hands without jerking. And just let the arms float back to next to the sides, bringing the gaze neutral. And we will go ahead and stop there. Nice work, everybody. I'm going to unmute you guys if I can.